This might be the worst beauty launch I've ever seen. It's shocking. How are we starting a brand off of, yeah, nobody wanted these things? What the hell?
Hey, just as a heads up, you've paid money for a failed product, just to let you know.
Basically, we're the guinea pigs. This may actually be the most useless makeup product of 2026. Like, it doesn't make any sense. None. You should not pay to be part of a focus group. Ever. Period. We want to see your feedback. What do you guys think? Should we bring this to market? And then when people give you feedback, you're pissed. Why? Oh, that's weird, because all your content has been basically trying to educate people about what goes on in the industry. Okay, so you must not have been doing a very good job if we don't get it. And it disgusts me that you act like everybody's stupid or doesn't understand. Liking this comment, I would never buy anything from you ever. The Lipstick Lesbians have officially launched their beauty brand, and it's not exactly what people were expecting. All right, so who are the Lipstick Lesbians? Well, as you can see, they've got a pretty big following over on TikTok of 1.2 million followers. Basically, the point of their videos is to educate on beauty product development. Their account rose in popularity in a relatively short amount of time, and I really think that that's because they have a unique voice and expertise in the beauty community that hadn't really been shared before. You know, they did a lot of videos talking about the cost, the margins, the distribution, the packaging of products, and sort of how to educate yourself as a consumer as to what products are right for you or what's good quality. And, you know, doing all of this through the lens of like this beauty product development background that they both have. So Christina, who's on the left, has a PhD in education technology. And then Alexis, who's really like the face of the Lipstick Lesbians account and the one that has like the real, you know, beauty product development background. She worked for 8 years as a retail makeup artist for NARS, and then she sort of moved into more beauty product development, licensing, getting behind the scenes lab experience, you know, basically taking products all the way through the process to mass market. And I think that they occupied a niche in the beauty market that had previously not really been explored yet, specifically sort of breaking down the wall between the consumer, the manufacturer, and the brands, and giving people even more knowledge for the beauty lovers out there to really learn everything that they can about beauty. I think this is a really good example video of why their online presence became so successful because, you know, specifically talking from that product development role, Alexis has shared really good tips about how to test products and like decide if these are right for you.
Want to test concealers in store? Use this part of your hand where you have a lot of natural lines and just push it right onto those lines as you would if you were tapping into your eye. And then just tap in because it's going to give you more of a realistic viewpoint of what the concealer is going to do when it actually goes on your under eye, because your under eye has lines.
Like creasing.
Just like creasing. Your eyes are always naturally going to crease. Your hand is naturally going to crease.
I feel like videos like this are very informative. They provide a lot of value to people, you know, causes them to think about makeup in a different way and be like, oh, you know what, that is a good way to test makeup. And maybe I can, you know, be a little bit more discerning next time when I go to try makeup in store and test it. I think they've had a lot of success because of this perspective. Now, what a lot of people might not know, because their content has shifted and evolved so much, is that they actually originally made their account to sort of document their lives and their journey as beauty brand owners. Okay, so they used to have a lipstick company called Fempower Beauty, and unfortunately they have now closed this down, but they did start this company in January of 2019, and it was really focused on lipsticks. Okay, thus the name the Lipstick Lesbians. The reason why I bring this up is because a lot of people might not know that they used to have a beauty brand. I know that I certainly didn't, because a lot of the content that you see now is them sort of reviewing current brands and doing reviews, wear tests of like what the new products are, doing products that are in Sephora, walking around Ulta, and educating people about the products right now. They very rarely talked about their own lipstick company. But when I found this out, just for me personally, I kind of had a moment of pause. And not because I don't want people to start brands. You know, I think it's a great thing and more power to you. Follow your dreams, you know. But for me, I've always sort of had this philosophy that it's pretty difficult to have a beauty brand and also do objective reviews, okay? I feel like there is a little bit of a conflict of interest that will always exist of like, you know, I want people to buy my lipsticks, but I'm reviewing other people's, and like things get all mixed up. I just don't know that the two can really exist at the same time. You know, another thing I think is worth mentioning, and I think this is something that many of us know, is that there's a lot of money to be made in beauty. Okay. In cosmetics, there is so much money to be made. I mean, we see a new celebrity brand popping up every single day. Influencers are constantly hawking products nonstop down our throats. We don't know what to do anymore. Like, we're full. That's enough. I'm good. I don't need any more. Thank you. And I think that the Lipstick Lesbians definitely know that there's a lot of money to be made because they have, on multiple occasions at this point, found ways to monetize the beauty space. Just something I'm pointing out. Another way that they did that was through this L Lab, Let's Learn About Beauty course. It's basically like a course for content creators to sort of get behind the scenes, access to their knowledge about the beauty industry and, learning from an actual chemist and doing different things. I don't think that you could go, put it on your resume that you took the L Lab course and then go get a job at some lab or whatever. My point is that they have found ways to monetize the space. And I think these things ultimately tell a story of where we're headed, okay? And how we got to where we're going, which is the leaked labs debacle. All right, so let's fast forward to the drama. Given all the information that you know about the Lipstick Lesbians, given their background, their expertise, the fact that they, had a beauty brand, obviously they learned a lot from that. They talked at length about how that company, the Fempower Beauty, almost bankrupt them, that they self-funded a lot of it. They're not doing that again. They did seem very jaded by it, which I understand. I totally would be too. But you would think, given all this information, that the next brand that they do come out with is going to be ironclad, okay? It is going to be bulletproof. It is going to be such an amazing concept with amazing products. It's going to solve problems. They've gotten so much feedback about what's good, what's not. They're professionals. They're experts. They're beauty product developers, right? Well, not really. And in fact, this might be the worst beauty launch I've ever seen. It's shocking.
We're addressing the rumors.
It's true.
We are not leaking news.
But we are leaking the lab.
The release documents suggest that Leaked Labs is actually more than a brand. Can you clarify what exactly Leaked Labs is?
Do you really think the Lipstick Lesbians would just launch another influencer beauty brand? This is a future beauty product development engine.
Kind of a funny aside here, but what I've noticed about the Lipstick Lesbians is they really love to use language like, this is the first of its kind that's never been seen. It's never been done before. This is the first ever. And you kind of think about it and you're like, I think this has been done before, multiple times. So I just have to make a preface before we start watching a lot of their promotional stuff. This has been some of the strangest marketing I've ever seen. And some of the things that they're coming out with are just things that I can't believe they're saying, quite frankly.
It's going to change everything.
We're bringing the power back to the beauty community.
Why did these labs give you access to their products?
The truth is that no one was brave enough to launch these first products that you're about to see. And so we decided to do it instead.
This is one of those things I'm talking about where it's like, why would you say that? Why would you admit that no one else wanted to bring these products to market? I think the only conclusion you can really draw from this is these products were not good enough for other brands that are, solidified and successful to launch. So they're just going to go ahead and try to launch them anyway. There's probably a reason why people are not wanting to launch these products, as we find out.
What should we expect next from Leaked Lab?
To put it simply, if I see another lip balm or if I see another blush, I don't think I can handle it.
It's the first time the beauty industry has ever seen a product development first brand.
If it doesn't blow your mind, it doesn't launch.
There's a lot of confusion about what this brand even is. No one knows really. Okay, I'm not even sure that they know based on what comes out and the things that they say about their brand. It's very confusing. I think what can be inferred by all this press conference or whatever is basically we're the guinea pigs. You, the consumer, are the guinea pig. You are part of this massive focus group. You're going to be testing out these products for them and giving your feedback about whether or not you like them. And then if you don't like them or if they're not good enough, they're not going to fully launch them, or they're going to maybe iterate further on them and try to improve them in some way based on your feedback. So it's like, hey, we're all working together to do this product development thing, because that's, ultimately where all roads lead back to product development. I can't even begin to explain how bad of an idea this is. Never, ever, ever, ever should we set the precedent or normalize doing a company's job for them. It's their job to come up with the products. It's their job to conduct focus groups and pay people for those focus groups. It's not our responsibility. It's not our responsibility to tell them how to improve their products. They should know how to do that, okay, through their own devices. Like I said, paid focus groups that they have to put money into. Essentially, what's happened here is they have found a way to put all the risk on the consumer. Okay, if the product's not good, they're just going to abandon it. They don't even have to risk paying money out of their pocket to host a focus group. They're just going to have you do it. They're going to have you pay to be part of a focus group. Insane.
If it's not innovative, you'll never see it.
We're sold out. This is it. I haven't processed.
Of course, they sold out.
These are all coming to you.
Real lab sample-esque.
So she just said real lab sample-esque. In their marketing as well, they've said, you know, we're sending you lab samples. If you're part of this Leaked Labs circus train or whatever the hell is going on, you are going to be sent lab samples to try out. And, you know, this has never been done before. This is like, if you're a beauty product developer, this is basically, I guess, what you would get from the actual lab. There's no bells and whistles. There's no fancy packaging. You're getting the true experience. All right, so here's a video kind of explaining the brand and how the launch cycle is going to work.
On a brand, actually. And we struggled with even calling it a brand.
We did.
It's not really, it's a branded experience, but it's definitely a new way of doing business in beauty.
Guys, there's a whole lot of mumbo jumbo that you're about to be force fed, okay? Lots of confusing words. Like I said, I don't think that they even know what it is that they're doing exactly, or if they do, they're being extremely intentionally vague about what they're saying or how they're presenting this branded experience. What do you mean it's a branded experience? This makes no sense. Are you launching products or are you not?
Leaked Labs is going to operate on a leak cycle, not a retail cycle, which means that instead of having these resets or these big fancy gondolas, we're sending you a physical lab sample in a pouchette.
Yeah, and not a PR lab sample, like a real manufacturer lab sample.
Remember that they said that they're sending you a lab sample because later on they try to like backtrack. I think given the price point of these, which these are $34, they end up being $34 for a lab sample. You know, a lot of people are like, why the hell would I pay $34 for this? In what world would I pay $34 for a lab sample?
Like you are a product developer and you're seeing something presented by a manufacturer, but we are choosing the most innovative things from around the world.
Right. And we're either going to find these orphans. I call them orphans because nobody wanted them.
Yeah.
Not the right way to say that. I think it's interesting what they're saying here of nobody wanted these products. This is the second time now that they've mentioned no one wanted to launch these products. Why? Why? Maybe explain that. Maybe let's do a video about why the hell nobody wanted to launch this product. How are we starting a brand off of, yeah, nobody wanted these things? What the hell?
And we're bringing these orphans home, and I'm making certain modifications as a product developer, but as minimal as possible to get it to you as fast as possible. Like notice even on our packaging, it's a label. There will not be direct echo right now. There's no point. That adds 2 months for no reason. So the leak cycle is going to be anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks where we'll have a new drop of a single product. Right now, the categories are going to be mainly focused on like color. There might be skincare. There might be hair care. We don't know.
There's a lot of things they don't know. The reason why I'm being extra specific about what they're saying right now is because this is the first we're hearing about the brand. Okay, this is what they are choosing to put out into the world. You know, we don't know that much. We're trying to get a lot of information, you know, from these people that are typically very concise, very clear, very educational, easy to understand. And now it's like, what's going on? What's happening? Because I don't understand a single thing you're saying. It's very confusing language. They're being intentionally vague about things. They're saying that they don't know what's to come for the company. They don't even know how to describe if it's a brand or not. I think these are things that are reasonable to question as a consumer of a brand new brand.
There might be fragrance. We're not going to discriminate, but right now, the first like 9 leak cycles have been determined.
The beauty industry is broken. There's innovation that exists now that people are not going to see until 2 years from now. But why not give consumers the opportunity to see it now if it exists?
Right.
So really, Leaked Labs is a speed to market innovation pipeline.
To me, I see this and I'm like, this is very bizarre. Messaging, marketing. I think that things take a while to come to market for a reason. I would rather, as a consumer, have things take longer if they're going to be fully fleshed out. They're going to be fully tested. This is like the best product. I would rather have that and wait a little bit. Okay, we live in instant gratification nation. They're marketing this as like a really good thing of like, you know, speed to market innovation pipeline, whatever. But there's also the flip side of that, which is very real, which is what are the things that we're missing out on because this is getting to us so fast? Okay, we're not getting good packaging, which you've already explained. There's things that are being missed in order to get it to me faster. And it's like, oh, I don't want it faster. I'd rather just wait. And I think this is a potential pitfall and a direction that I don't think we should go in, especially especially as this is not what we want as consumers, where beauty labs and manufacturers and developers are rushing products and getting them to us unfinished. But we're still, for some reason, being charged the same price. Why? Not a good route.
The feedback from
Yes.
the people that purchase these products,
Yep.
and you can decide. Actually, the people didn't want amplified
Correct.
flexi powder.
Maybe they don't.
Moving on.
Maybe it's too conceptual. I mean,
Right.
it's a question that I have. We don't know.
We don't
It's
know.
too conceptual for the beauty community. Some people will love it. Some people will hate it. I'm sure. Like, this doesn't need to exist. You know, I'm sure that's going to happen.
So will you have this like store where if this does well, it'll be there, we can purchase
Yes.
more?
Yeah.
It will be core collection.
Basically, if this is a dud, then we're never going to bring it to market. Okay. All those people that spent $34 on this product, okay, testing it out, are left with a dud product that wasn't good, that most people felt like was useless and didn't perform well and was actually, you know, there's a reason why nobody else wanted to bring it to market. Those people basically assume all the risk. And once again, this is what I don't like about this conception, this idea. I don't want to assume the risk as a customer. If you want to make money off me, then you need to work for it. I'm sorry, I'm not doing your job for you. I'm not doing your market research, and I'm not also paying for it. This is crazy.
Okay,
And
core
we'd figure
collection.
out,
That's
and
our
it may
goal.
not look the same. It may modify depending on what people want.
If people give them proper feedback about these products and they iterate on those products and improve them and then eventually have them as part of their core collection in a storefront, they basically took other people's ideas and are now selling it back to them.
I'm already reworking this to be better because everything could.
Wait, didn't people just get this like a week ago? I'm already reworking it. Like, okay, yeah, you get those people that you have version 1. Sorry guys, but you're out $34. You got a product and we're already making this better.
Be better
Yeah.
next year and the year after, right? That's the point of cosmetics.
Look, I'm still confused. So this is what they put out. Okay, this is how their leak cycle works. All right. 1, creation. Under Alexis's direction, our network of chemists, artists, and formulation innovators developing cutting-edge and experimental formulations, often using ingredients, delivery systems, or technologies not yet commercialized. 2, the release. Products are released in limited quantities as controlled leaks, allowing innovation to reach consumers without waiting for traditional brand timelines. Once again, the brand timelines are there for a reason. Number 3, evaluation. Consumers are lab testers, more like our lab rats. Purchase and evaluate product, sharing their feedback, reactions, and results publicly. So basically, we're getting free content out of people, free feedback. We're getting the ingenuity and innovation and the ideas of our customers, and we're actually getting paid for it. But in this situation, everything is flipped on its head. Number 4, refinement. Select formulas may evolve into expanded releases. Others remain as limited lab editions, preserving innovation in the leaked labs archive. So yeah, it's like, oh yeah, if this is a huge dud and nobody likes it, yeah, we're just gonna get rid of it. I also just don't like this whole like, oh, will we, won't we type of thing of like, oh, we might iterate on this, we might evolve it and like improve on it, or we might just ditch it and leave it in our leaked lab archive. What? So yeah, the feedback immediately was not good. Expecting consumers to pay to test minimally tested products is wild. Pay a focus group or at least give the products for free, as is industry standard. This isn't innovative, it's exploitative and means customers are paying to do the work that companies should do before a single item is ever sold. Exactly. It's wrong. So volume 1 finally launches for $34. Did I mention it's $34? $34 for 4 eyeshadows that are this flexi material that, as you stated in your own words, no one wanted. This is their flexi powder. Oh boy.
This is the world's first flexible powder. It's Amplify Flexi Powder by Lipstick Labs. I'm going to show you the ways that I like to play. You can use it dry, you can use it wet. It's so adaptable. When it gets wet, it will re-dry back to its original form. You can use water, you can use micellar water, you can use setting spray. I'm going to show you what it looks like to spray and wet.
This is a petri dish. There's no part of this that seems appealing to me. To me, this is just a sensory nightmare. And I just want to, preface this video by saying that obviously I did not buy Leaked Labs. Okay, so I do not have the products to review. We're obviously going to watch reviews, but I would never buy into this company because of the concept of the company, because of the price point of this product. I'm not paying $34 for lab samples. No.
One single spray. As this liquefies, it looks like liquid metal. And when I lay this down on my eyes, I want you to see how this is going to start to look icy. The more wet you make the product, the more liquefied or chrome and metallic it's going to be. And
who's been here since 2016? Well, we've been on YouTube for how long, guys? This looks like any other eyeshadow. And by the way, any other eyeshadow, when you wet it, it's got a different finish. It's usually a little bit more opaque. We know this. Come on, we're acting like this is revolutionary. It looks like a damn eyeshadow.
Even when you layer Flexi, it doesn't feel or look heavy on the eye. You can mold it to your finger and you can apply it directly on skin. When it dries down, it's more of a sheer, soft application, more of a watercolor veil. When you take a brush to it, it gets even more serious. This exact finish, the fact that you can wet it, it can go back to its original form, and you could use it dry, and you can amplify by making it more and more wet. It makes it extremely malleable and versatile.
Most eyeshadows do this. What we're being told of like, this is revolutionary, it's innovative, it's never been seen before, never been done before. It's going to give you a look and a finish that is just out of this world. And I'm looking at it and she's in studio lighting and I'm like, it's leaving a lot to be desired.
Have you ever heard eyeshadow?
And like a boring one at that.
Shadow make this sound? What do you think, Beauty Queen?
No, and I don't want to.
Do you want flexible powder to come to the market for real? For those of you that bought it, what do you think? For those of you that are watching, what do you think? We care about everyone's opinion because this is how you product develop in public. And don't forget to tag us in Leaked Labs so we can see your video.
More confusion. But why? What problem is it solving? This seems very unsanitary. You know, this is ultimately the question. And, you know, once again, I just have to reiterate, like, this was their second chance. I think people assumed a lot and they had high expectations. I've actually even heard them say that their whole, like, real goal is to sort of capture these pain points and turn them into a product. Identifying what people are looking for, what they're searching for, what they need, and not just doing things for innovation's sake, but doing things because they solve a problem. I think that's really what innovation is. I don't think like just doing things, oh, this is like, you know, brand new, which this is not brand new, by the way. There's other versions of this same idea and concept that are being done much better, which we'll get to, but it's not solving a problem. I think when you're thinking about product development, let's start there. Okay, let's start there. If it's not solving a single problem other than, hey, sometimes my eyeshadow breaks. Well, guys, most people know you can pretty easily push an eyeshadow back together. Is that really the biggest problem people are having, is that their eyeshadow is breaking and that we can't flex it like a fruit roll-up? That's not my problem. I don't think that's my problem. Okay, there's other things I'd like to get solved first. How about the fact that nobody's making cool tone lipsticks? Can we talk about that for a moment? Let's get an innovation pipeline going on the cool tone pink lipstick, please. What problem is it solving? Very unsanitary. Yeah, it's not solving a problem. And it's actually, in my opinion, creating more problems for people. I have to jump through 18 hoops. I've got to wet it. I've got to take it out of the tin. I've got to let it dry. It's getting all over. What about bacteria? How does it remain hygienic? Lots of questions about that. What's going on? You get our money and then you just stop telling us what's up. What's the point of marketing isn't flexible? LMAO. Like, we're confused.
Woo, what's that?
Amplify Flexi powder. Here's the magic. It's gonna go back to feeling and looking like a dehydrated.
You can see that it's been ripped. You can see it on that like more bronzy shade. So it's not breakable, but it's rippable. Great.
Powder. If you're like me, you like to get a little messy, use your fingers to be able to get a texture that is this wet looking inside of a powder format that is so versatile, has never been done before. This is the future.
You don't understand, guys. It's never been done. We've never done it. Well, maybe the world shouldn't have seen it. We should have kept it in the archive. Keep it in the vault locked away.
Let's swatch Amplify Flexi powder on each.
This is where things get really strange.
Swatch to my face. This is Flexi Dry.
I'm going to say something. The swatches that this branded experience, this social experiment company has put out are some of the worst swatch. They're unbelievably bad. So this is the dry version. She's swatching it on her forehead. Just wait.
This is Flexi Amplified. 1 pump of setting spray.
So we're swatching it right over the other one. Okay.
It's crazy that you can get that effect.
It's cool. This is Flexi Dry. This is Flexi Amplified. This copper tone.
Fingernails are all in it. It's a slopping, jaloping mess.
Pearl, then the silver. Every disc is a little bit different because every pearl is a little bit different. This is the gold tone. Dry. This is the gold tone.
These are dreadful.
Which is also the thinnest. Amplified. I'm swiping emollients. Last and certainly not least, this is Amplify Flexi Dry. This pink has the most pearl. It has a higher particle size. Then we amplify. This is Flexi.
Here's some of the swatches, all right? And these aren't actually the ones that where I'm like, whoa, these are bad. So some of the names, the Boss Energy, Rings of Fire, The One Who Believed, and The Fairy Godmother. This is where I really go, wow. Dry swatches. I've never in my life, in all my years, have I seen swatches that are this bad. These are the wet swatches. These look like Claire's kids makeup swatches. They're lackluster. I guess I'm just surprised that, like, of all the products they could have even chosen to be like the first one. Well, guys, the reviews are in and they're not good. I really struggled to find any positive ones. Many of them had some pretty alarming concerns, I would say. As she mentions here, $34 and then $40 with shipping. So basically $10 per eyeshadow, which is just bonkers. Okay, bonkers. No wonder they had no problem with the Patrick Taub being $42 for 2 eyeshadows. Okay, it's all making sense now. So this creator got a PR package from Leaked Labs, and in that it did come with like a palette. But the people that just bought it off the website, they did not get a palette with it.
Product comes with 4 shadows. There's a gold one, a silver one, a bronze one, and a pink one. I'm gonna swatch them dry on this eye and wet on this one. Initial thoughts just looking at this product is that the thickness between the two are vastly different. As you can see, the silver one is,
I mean, this is why we don't do a market to speed run pipeline challenge. Okay, because you've got inconsistencies. Why is the one absolutely paper thin and then the other one is like significantly more thick? This is why we don't do that, because we want to have consistency.
quite thick, and the copper one is paper thin. A little bit nervous. I'm gonna break them. I'm going to fold it over my nail, and oh, this does not feel good. Oh my gosh. What does this feel like? It nearly feels like rubber. I have to like seriously tug on my eye. It feels like the material of the stretchy band of goggles.
$40.
Okay, well, I've ripped it. I'd say the payoff is pretty.
It ripped on the first application.
I think it's probably hard to get closer to the lash line, but I'm wearing mascara right now. Cleaned up. I'm going to try this pink shade now, hopefully trying not to break it this time. Maybe I'll just fold it in half like this. So this is applied dry.
Hey, this is just a disaster. It's a disaster, straight up. If you have any like long nails, good luck.
Oh my god. Can you see how much it's like tugging my eye right now? This like kind of hurts, low key. This does
Where's
not
the
feel
eyeshadow?
good. Okay, now that I switched to the other side of it, I'm getting a little bit more payoff, but my eye feels irritated. My eyelids hurt. I don't think you're getting as much payoff on this one as you were with the bronze shade. Clean the brush, but we're gonna go ahead and put this on the other eye. What is happening? Okay, maybe I'll try my finger this time. Okay, this is better. Almost feels like a little bit more diluted. I don't know.
Do you know how disappointed I would be if I spent 40 of my hard-earned dollars on this and this is what I got and they're ripping in half?
I haven't even used this one yet and it's already breaking. I know this is gonna hurt. I don't want to do it. Okay, the payoff is okay. Again, I'm really having to tug at my eye here. Oh, it ripped. You know the drill. Again, this feels much better and I feel like I have more control over where the product goes instead of just applying it directly. I don't know if you can see, but some of the pigment from the other shades have transferred already.
There's another reason why packaging matters and why you don't rush products and just throw them in a tin. I wonder why we've never seen that before. Oh, because it's not a good idea. Why are we stacking eyeshadows in a tin? Especially when we have to wet them, get them wet.
Welcome to episode 1 of paying to be a product tester for a makeup brand.
I can't get over this. It just seems extra crazy when you say it out loud. I'm paying to be a product tester. I'm paying to test products for a brand who is then going to turn around and sell me more stuff. I had to pay to test this and give them feedback and basically do their job for them. And they're getting to reap all the benefit and rewards for it.
Visually, you can see that you're not getting the same amount of product within each shade, so we need the scale to figure this out.
This is a problem.
Now, as a product tester for a quote-unquote lab sample product, I'm insanely disappointed to see how much product we paid for. Because when I look at the price breakdown of what I paid between product and shipping, that was $10 per each shade. It's total product, and then on top of that, you're getting inexpensive tint. If that is what we're paying for this amount for lab samples, I don't even want to know how much those slab costs that the Lipstick Lesbians are showing.
You get 0.1 ounce. 0.1 ounce of product for $40 with shipping. 0.1 ounce. It's beginning to look like a cash grab.
Never recommend this to a makeup artist. This is an update in regards to the Leaked Labs Flexi powder. Left these out in open air for 3 days, and I also sprayed alcohol on it about an hour and a half ago, making the product deteriorate.
You know, I find the thinness of them to be almost offensive, that they thought that they could get away with, and they did actually, in fact, get away with something so wafer thin.
Just lost so much money.
Look at them, guys. It's a gelatinous blob inside of the tin. That's what it's turned into. It's been like a week.
So much money because you created a product that cannot be properly sanitized by makeup artists. A lot of people are calling it a gimmick, and you know what? I get it. And I'm not trying to be mean about it. I love new things. I've supported Christina and Alexis for a very long time. I'm a very big fan of their work. The thing is, why sell a product that isn't performing at its best on its own at all? Because when I swatched it, it was very patchy. Why sell that product when we are literally in the age of jelly sticks and we can build up the intensity and it's already in a hydration component? You're selling something that is falling short of what is performing really well on the market right now.
You know, as she sort of mentioned there, and other people will mention, this product already exists in much better iterations as jelly eyeshadows. That's been a sort of an innovative technology that's already reached people. A lot of companies are coming out with the jelly glitter eyeshadows right now that you kind of just roll up. That's basically the same thing, but it's been stress tested, it's been consumer tested, and it's been brought to market in much better, easier components where you get a lot more product and you can use it more easily, and it's much better. But I think that they want to run with this whole it's never been seen before idea. They found a way to monetize this whole, you know, innovation process and this whole lab leaking thing and trying to turn people into product developers. And really that's what they're doing. They just want to make money. I don't think that they really care about the products that they're putting out. I think that they love the fact that they're experiments. They think it's just like a fun experience for people to try stuff out.
I got it. Let's try it out. Got a rose gold, and already there is some of the silver on the rose gold, so I don't like these all being packaged together. I don't really see these being sanitary at all because I'm having to touch these with my fingers. So there is a breaking point with this. Hopefully you could see that crack.
I keep getting caught up on, and you know, they're product developers. They know this. They know. You know, I saw in her video, hers was ripped too, in the Lipstick Lesbians video. They know these things, and they still decided to bring them to market. They know better, and they still decided we're going to send these out to people and charge them an egregious amount to test them for us, even though we know that there's problems, even though we've already admitted that we're actually continuing to innovate this very product and make it better. What needs to be better about it? I thought it was a great product. I'm disturbed.
It does feel really rough applying it on the eyes this way. The skin on the eyes is super thin and just super, you know, delicate. I don't think I'd want to do that constantly, rub this product on the eyes like that.
I don't think we should be moving in a direction of paying to be part of social experiments, you know, especially in a space where things are already going in the wrong direction. Prices of cosmetics are already going way up when we know that they're, you know, the margins are insane on cosmetics. People make them for very little and then charge a whole lot. And the products are just getting worse and worse and worse. Like, I guess I'm fed up.
See here, this is the bronze shade. It's going to be a little dark. It is starting to pill up.
I mean, it's pilling badly. It's actually making the makeup look worse.
Like flakes of the pigment. See my skin tugging. It's definitely picking up my foundation.
Really? This is what we're doing. Well, Leaked Labs, here's that feedback you asked for. This may actually be the most useless makeup product of 2026. Like, it doesn't make any sense. None. How is this better than an eyeshadow stick or pencil? It's dumb. Guys, we've seen this product. This is not revolutionary. It's really not that innovative. How is this any better than just using your finger? It's worse. The innovation and technology are very neat. However, it's a horrible concept and not user-friendly, which is probably why it didn't make it to market. A nod for innovation. I think, yes, we're finding out why this product never made it to market. Doing a makeup brand based on products that nobody wanted to launch and was too scared to launch is an objectively awful idea. You know, to me, there's like a degree of ego involved with this. And I don't know if they maybe have just such a poor opinion about their customers, or where they're like, oh, they'll buy anything. They'll buy it because of innovation. They don't really care about the actual customer experience. They don't care about the actual, you know, product at all.
Let's compare the flexi powders from Leaked Labs to the cooling chrome eyeshadow sticks from About Face. So here's the comparison. We have the About Face.
Yeah, this is an example of products that already already exist. A lot of these jelly blushes, the jelly eyeshadows, we've got the cooling eyeshadow sticks that are, you know, like a gel type formula. That's essentially what this is. They're in much better packaging. They're already in market. They have already been tested. They're not a prototype, okay? Don't be fooled by the marketing gimmick of leaked labs. A lot of the stuff's already out. So after some of the reviews, there was a lot of feedback and, let's just say, confusion about the future of leaked labs.
Question for the chat. Why do the Lipstick Lesbians want me to pay them to do consumer testing for their product? Is this not weird to anyone else? Like, is this how it typically works in this industry?
No. The only thing that is actually brand new, a brand new concept never before seen, is the audacity of these two to think that this would be a good idea, to try to get one over on the consumers in this way, to basically, you know, find a way to monetize the consumer feedback as a business model. That's what's new. And I find it to be disturbing. No, I'm not working for free. Absolutely not. No.
I was kind of pay me. I'm not paying you.
Honestly, I just need more transparency from them. What are the quantities of leaks going to be? What does the future of product development look like for products? And will we as the consumers be brought into this process? Because like this is not a sanitary way for the product, so that has to be improved. Valid questions, but also like I don't even want to know the answer to will we as consumers be brought into this process? It's not a process that consumers should be a part of unless we're being paid to do so. I need people to understand what their worth is and the value of your voice and your ideas and your feedback. Companies pay a lot of money ordinarily to get this type of feedback, and they conduct a lot of research groups, focus groups. It should not come for free. So it's like the questions about, are we going to be involved in the process? Like, no, consumers should not be involved in the process. They should have this figured out themselves, and then they bring it to me when it's finished. Thank you.
I find this product useless. And no offense to Lipstick Lesbians. I love them. I love their work. This doesn't really make my life easier as an everyday makeup consumer and makeup user. It makes my life harder. Number one, to get pigmented product on my face, this pigmented product, I need to activate it with a liquid, she said.
Once again, other products, like for example, the About Face cooling eyeshadow sticks, you don't need to bring a brush with you. So, you know, there's so many things where it's like, now I've got to add water, and now I need a makeup palette with me. Now I need to have a brush.
I'm looking for precision, and I'm not a swipe and go type of person. This is unique in theory. It's different in theory, but in application, I feel like it just causes more headache.
Hey, just as a heads up, you've paid money for a failed product, just to let you know. Shiseido and L'Oreal have had patents or still have patents for this kind of polymer film technology, and they choose not to launch it because it's a failure.
You know, what's interesting about this, some of the tea, background is she actually used to work for Shiseido. Interesting, to say the least. And obviously it's like alarming. You're like, paying for a failing product. But it's funny because the Lipstick Lesbians and like the leaked labs, all that, you know, stuff they put out, they basically said as much themselves. They're like, yeah, nobody wanted to launch this. You know, that directly for me translates to this was a product that nobody wanted to bring to market. It was a failure. There was something wrong with it. Nobody else wanted to pick it up. In one of their promotional materials, they wrote, 3 years this product has been sitting, waiting to be brought to market. 3 years ago. We're talking about cutting edge. It's been sitting there for 3 years. You know, and here we have somebody saying since 2010 they've held patents for this type of technology. So is the innovation really that innovative if it's potentially 16 years old? I mean, that certainly would poke a hole in that whole idea that this is brand new. Geez, it makes it 10 times worse, in fact, if it's been around for that long and no one picked it up in that amount of time.
They're selling unfinished lab samples for $34.
Yep.
Talk about the Lipstick Lesbians and their new makeup brand. So their brand basically just sells lab samples.
We're gonna all cosplay as product developers. What are we doing? I don't know. I'm like freaking out. I'm freaking out.
I'm not just saying this. That's what they said down there. What looks like a lab sample, because essentially that's what it is. What doesn't sit well with me is that essentially you're asking your followers to test products for you, and then you're asking them to pay $34 on top of that. As a consumer, it just feels like they're laughing in our faces.
They're laughing all the way to the bank is what they're doing. This marketing is so strange. Can you you address people's problem with paying to be testers, what was the thought processes behind that? They said, we are going to address this in a video coming soon and appreciate the question. Well, address it in a video, they did. Welcome to our first Leaked Labs State of the Union. If we're going to build in public, we must be willing to address what comes with it. Let's debrief. Okay, so let's.
The internet has spoken.
This is the first Leaked Labs State of the Union.
Why am I paying to have a product that's unfinished for me to test and give you feedback?
You're not paying for an unfinished good.
And you're not paying to do the work for us.
Oh, but we are. This is the ultimate gaslighting moment. Okay, you're not paying to do the work for us. You just said we're part of a focus group. What are focus groups? Oh, it's a paid group who give you feedback. And for some reason, we're paying to do that for you. You know, if you want the value of customer feedback, then you got to pay for it. That's how things work in this market. Okay, you found a way around that. People aren't having it. So yeah, they're going to be pissed. You know, it's just funny that they're like, yeah, no, this isn't unfinished, but meanwhile, they're calling it a prototype. They're calling it lab samples. In my opinion, my definition of that is it's an unfinished product. It's not in its final form. You even said I'm already innovating this product and improving upon it. That would insinuate that there's more work to be done. Okay. They're trying to backtrack so hard. And it's like, you guys, you dug this hole.
You're paying to participate in beauty's largest public focus group that's being documented.
What? You're paying to be in the world's largest public focus group that's being documented. Smile, you're on camera, guys. What? Hey, what the are we doing? You're paid to be part of a focus group. Stop there. Hey, stop there. You should not pay to be part of a focus group ever, period. Once again, they are transferring all of the risk to the consumer. They don't have to pay for focus groups. They don't have to pay for product testing. They don't have to do any of the hard work of actually like making sure it's good, putting it in proper packaging, making sure the customer experience is good, answering questions. They're going to take your ideas and sell them back. You have to pay to work for them, give them feedback, make videos, promoting their products, doing their marketing for them. You pay for the product, which is insane. And by the way, if all this fails, it's on you. You're the one who's out money.
We actually make sure we test beauty products before we launch them to make sure they're ready for consumers' hands.
What part of this flexi powder is ready? I ask you. It's ripping to shreds.
Might even be testing them right now.
When manufactured.
Stop with this vague language. I'm serious. We may or may not be doing this. We may be bringing it back. What are you doing? Tell me what you're doing in clear language now. Tell me. Be honest and be upfront. Be direct. That's what you've done in your content. That's what I'm not getting. You were so clear and like, we want to break the wall down between, the consumer and the manufacturer and the brand. Like that was your whole ethos. And now it's like, we can't even get a straight answer anymore.
Manufacturers present products to brands and then brands take it and develop them further. These products are finished. It's just brands take it a step further with longer lead times to make it tailored to them. What we're doing is we're expediting that cycle and giving you the finished good that's presented by the manufacturer to your hands. But rest assured, Leaked Labs products are safe to use, pass all cosmetics and regulatory testing, ready for launch, and hygienic to you.
The preservative system is there for a reason, to make sure it's safe for you to use.
So what is the future of Leaked?
They know that people are mad about the bacteria situation.
The truth is that no one really knows what the future of Leaked Labs is going to hold.
And here we go again. No one knows, guys. We're just going with the wind. We don't know what's going on. Well, that's obvious.
Including us.
We're going to rescue products that deserve the spotlight. We're going to give them the platform to be seen. And we're going to also develop some of what we feel to be the best-in-class innovations that are yet to hit the market. But at the end of the day, we're going to do so alongside you with the curtain peeled back fully this time.
If you wanted to show... No, I'm not even gonna, no. You know what I almost just did? I almost just gave them a valuable piece of feedback and advice. And you know what? It's against everything that I'm trying to do in this video. I'm not giving you tips, okay? Do not help them out. If you want to improve your brand, it needs to be your idea, not mine, not anybody else's, yours. It needs to come out of your brain. If you want to create a beauty brand, then you need to be innovative yourself, solve problems, okay? I was going to give them like, okay, well, maybe if you did this instead. No, I'm not doing it. No, that's my idea. It's mine. I'm not helping you to improve your product and I'm not doing it for free.
This is a space for collaboration. This is an invitation to all.
It's funny because, they charge companies to consult for them. Another way that they've managed to monetize the beauty space, they charge companies to consult. But when it's other people, okay, us, your audience, suddenly consulting consulting is free. Okay. Noted.
Brands out there that aren't sure about an innovation, if they so choose, maybe they can link it with our lab.
Hold on. You know, I think this is another part that people are getting caught up on and they're very confused about. So are you guys the middleman now? You're the middleman between, you know, brands and consumers. We're going to run the focus group for you through our, you know, gimmick of a company. Are you launching products or are you not? Because right now I have no confidence in this company and I don't know what you're doing with our feedback. By the way, at this point, they also had not asked people, to my knowledge, for feedback. Okay. They hadn't asked anybody that bought Leaked Labs, like they hadn't sent out an email and said, hey guys, like, what do you think? You know, what would you change? What would you do? Nothing. They hadn't asked anything, which is just unbelievable. You know, that was the whole point, is it not? But they hadn't even sent out even a mere survey.
Historically, when innovations launch, many people don't understand them and they need a lot of explanation.
I'm noticing a pattern with these two. I watched an interview of them and they were talking about why Femme Power Beauty, you know, didn't work out. And, you know, they were kind of saying that like a lot of the marketing was before its time. It kind of like went above people's heads. And it's like, I feel like in so many words, they're just saying to people, yeah, you're too stupid to get this. And I don't like that.
If you want this product to be used the way you've used all your other powder products, is it really innovative? It's really just a question of, is it worth it to explore?
And ultimately, the question of whether or not flexi is a gimmick is really up to you to decide.
No. You're the only two people who actually think this is a good product.
The selfie camera was actually seen as a narcissistic gimmick when it first launched. And look at it now.
Lastly, we've come to understand we've solved one of your biggest pain points. Flexi is unbreakable. Just like that, flexi is unbreakable unless you rip it.
Unless you rip it. Yeah, well, it rips. Wait, then why am I paying to be on a test group? LMAO. Nah, I fear you fumbled it with the idea that the consumer is the tester. Yeah, no, people aren't happy with this. So my next question is, if a product is tweaked and or reformulated like you said you'll do from time to time, as someone that already bought the product, am I expected to pay for the better version again when it's released, or are you going to send out the better version to the customers that bought the less than perfect product? Good question. Is there any incentive to people that already bought the product? I feel like you're backpedaling with this. You now say that this is a finished product, but the whole point of Leaked Labs was for people to purchase these lab samples to evaluate if the product deserves a permanent spot. Exactly. They're trying to weasel their way out. It's not going to work. This is so odd. Yeah, but innovation has to be solving an issue or gap. Otherwise, it's useless. Flexi is a cool innovation, but there's no real benefit or practicality of a flexible powder. Exactly. Make olive and cool tone makeup, please. Most of us don't care about flexible eyeshadows. To me, that's not innovation. It just feels like trying to be a cool product. Yeah, it's not. It has to be innovative with a purpose, and it has to be solving a problem or improving on something, you know, that we've already had or whatever. Like it just does. You know, in my opinion, I don't think us as consumers should settle for anything less than something that is innovative, and companies that are trying to solve our problems and are going out of their way to make things like a cool concept, easy for, you know, travel friendly or unique in some way, cool look and finish. Like, we should only go for products that are actually like good. This is awesome, but I'm confused by all the flack. We as fans follow you for education and insight on the production and development. At least that is what I gather from my many comments. Why would we think you guys would steer us into an unsafe or frivolous product? I find it just mostly concerning that you guys even thought this was a good idea. It makes me think that you don't maybe have the greatest sense of direction. You might not have good instincts for products. I think it's a good sign if someone knows what the people want, and this was not even close to what people wanted. Okay, you said we're not paying as a consumer to test your products, but then you said we're paying to be involved in a focus group, but aren't normally people getting paid in some way to be in a focus group? You will hear people getting a voucher for something or getting paid $5 or $10 or getting a gift card to be part of a focus group. So you may word it differently, but in reality, the consumer is paying it to test a product instead of being compensated for testing the product. I got mine yesterday, and I must say this first release wasn't it. Why are we paying so much for something so tiny? Using it dry was nearly impossible. Using it wet is really messy. Precision was also nearly impossible since they only barely worked it with a brush, even soaking wet. I don't know. Maybe mine were defective. Yeah, good question. My question is this: what's the customer service situation looking like? If we don't like it, can we return it? Okay, so Flexi sold out, but then now what? I'm confused. Does it selling out mean it will be produced at a volume and a brand will launch it? Will you launch it? Yeah, nobody knows. They've said multiple times, we don't know. Don't ask. To me, this is really the comment that summarizes everything. And it says, I personally don't understand the point. If they wanted to leak the product for customer feedback and then they go on to patronize the customers after getting the honest reviews they asked for, then what is their goal? Exactly. Your whole thing was, we want to get feedback. We want to watch your videos. You're part of a public focus group. First of its kind. We want to see your feedback. What do you guys think? Should we bring this to market? And then when people give you feedback, you're pissed. Why? You're telling people, oh, you don't get it. You don't understand innovation. You don't understand progress. What's your goal here? What's going on? Well, the State of the Union was not received very well. Several days later, they commented and pinned the comment and said, "Hi, everyone. Firstly, we see you and we hear you, and we are genuinely sorry this video missed the mark on tone. It was certainly not our intention at all. In the spirit of honesty and transparency, we will make a video to address some recurring concerns we're seeing in these comments, but it's currently a bit difficult because we are traveling. Please know you are heard and we will respond soon. In the meantime, sending love always." Oh, great. I'm glad you guys are on a trip. You're launching your brand and people need answers. Your customers need answers, and you're not even around to answer these things. You didn't think to maybe clear your schedule for any issues that may arise? After this, they go into full-on damage control.
This is the email Leaked Labs sent this morning to everyone who purchased the product, asking for everyone's feedback if you guys want to take a look.
So after more feedback and questions of, hey, where's the survey email? Where's anything of you actually asking for the consumer feedback that you said that, you know, that was the whole point, right? Was to get our feedback about it. They finally sent one, you know, who knows, a week later, whatever it was, a little too late, quite frankly.
It started off with asking how we feel about the product on a scale of 1 to 5, and I put a number 2 if we would repurchase it again if it was available for purchase, and I put no. What we liked about the product, I said I like the texture, I like the flexibility of it. We didn't like about the product, I put the packaging. There was also a text box to put in written feedback in our own words.
What makes it feel similar to other powders? What would make this product stand out more to you? So you want people to write what their ideas are for how it can stand out better. Basically, hey, can you just give us like all the information we need about how we can improve this product so we don't have to do any work and we don't have to think for ourselves? I'm so disturbed by this whole concept. And now you have to write a paragraph about how it could be better and take somebody else's idea and then you're going to sell it back to them. Ugh. Me personally, my advice, don't give them any pointers. Don't give them how they can improve. This was, you know, a creator that obviously did a review, didn't like the product very much and had a lot of reasonable questions. And they replied and said, "Hey, Britt, thank you for sharing this feedback. We're adjusting the timing on this email so it reaches people sooner. And we're always open to refining our post-purchase survey to better reflect everyone's, you know, whatever." You know, admitting that we should have sent the email out sooner. Why was this not thought of? Your whole thing you've been telling us for years that you are product development experts. All the information for the last, 5 years has been around how you guys are top tier product developers, and you didn't know this? It just feels like you thought you could get it over on people and you're kind of like, oh,
Video is specifically for Leaked Labs. If you're not Leaked Labs, you could feel free to keep scrolling. I feel like I'm being way nicer than I probably should be. Leaving these types of comments is another thing that comes off as condescending, not only as another content creator, but also as a consumer. There are so many questions being asked in the over 2.6 million views that I've gathered for your brand. And this is
free marketing. That's 2.6 million views of free advertising for this company, you know, and that's another thing that typically brands have to pay for. Not with Leaked Labs. They found a way to exploit that.
This is what we choose to get responses on. You're choosing to respond to this because people feel that you're doing damage control, which responding to this, that very much is what it comes off as. I feel like we could all collectively agree in the grand scheme of all this, nobody gives a shit about your survey because it should have already been done. It's just extremely disappointing because as a content creator, which you guys are as well, I genuinely thought we would finally start seeing a brand recognize not so positive feedback.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of their messaging was like, if you guys don't like it, we're not going to be upset. Lay it on us. You know, if you don't want this product to come to market, we want all the negative feedback, you know, give it to us. And then they come out with the weirdest press conference of all time and they're pissed. Okay, they're pissed off. They're like, well, you guys just don't get it. You're part of a focus group that's being documented. What do you mean you're paying to do our work for us? That's exactly what you're doing. Come on, guys.
You weren't wrong by saying the industry is broken, but you're also now contributing to it.
Ooh, it's true. Oh, the industry's broken. Because brands and manufacturers think they can get one over on the consumer. And at the end of the day, the customer is king. The only reason that any of you people have jobs is because of us. Our feedback is valuable. And I think this comment summarizes all of that. I think they're banking on people being stupid enough to eat up their word vomit. Their response kind of proves the point you were making in your comment. In a real focus group, the brand pays you, the potential customer, to test their products and share feedback. That's how it works. Here, the customer is paying them for that same experience. That's not a focus group. That's market research. The customer is funding themselves. And they use the words public focus group themselves. On top of that, purchasers are receiving follow-up questionnaires by email after buying. Feedback collection from these paying customers is literally what a focus group is. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, typically you give the feedback first before you buy it, and then things come to market. Everything's ass backwards in this case. Feedback collection from these paying customers is literally what a focus group is. The reason focus groups have always compensated participants is because consumer feedback has real value. If we normalize the consumer, giving them money for that privilege instead, we're handing that value over for free. If we do that, the whole industry will notice and act in what is in the best interest of the corporate bank account. Exactly. It sets the most dangerous precedent for the future of beauty. And that's why this is so important to talk about, that we do not give away our feedback for free. We cannot let these brands cut corners, take advantage of us, exploit us for our ideas, our own innovations. They have to bring it to us. They don't want to work hard anymore to get our money. We're giving it all away for free right now. And we can't, because if companies start seeing that we're doing this and we're willing to give away all of our feedback and we're willing to pay for it, oh, we're screwed. Y'all switching up now and saying it isn't a sample, but in this video, you basically said it is. They said, hi, thanks for calling this out. When we say lab sample, we're using industry terminology. It refers to a finished cosmetic product, not a literal sample. However, we can see how that wording could be interpreted differently, and we're continuing to refine how we communicate to make it clearer. Appreciate you calling it out and giving us the chance to clarify so we can simplify this moving forward. Nope, I'm pissed. This is making the consumer pay for everything. The risk it may not work out, marketing, the feedback, and eventually production if people want the product. The leaked product is a sample for the cost of a general full-size product. This is unethical. Companies need to take their own risks. All this is doing is getting the consumer to essentially pay for everything in the end. This is not right. Yeah, charging people to join a focus group and keeping all their data isn't user research. It's extraction. Consumers pay, share insights, and create value while the company keeps 100% of the asset. No ownership, no upside, no transparency. Feels less like innovation and more like exploitation. Oh, people are going in. They're going in. This just chaps my ass. I'm going to be honest. This pisses me off so fucking bad. This is one thing that Leaked Labs liked. This is what somebody commented. As someone who works in the industry, I get it and I love it. Unfortunately, for those who don't work in the industry, they don't get it. Leaked Labs liked that. You guys just don't get it. If you don't work in the industry, you don't understand what's going on behind here. Oh, that's weird, because all your content has been basically trying to educate people about what goes on in the industry. Okay, so you must not have been doing a very good job if we don't get it. And it disgusts me that you act like everybody's stupid or doesn't understand. Like in this comment, I would never buy anything from you ever. People that don't work in the industry, they just don't get it. If not getting it is wrong, I don't want to be right. I feel like I've just been, I guess, disappointed with how their content has evolved. And I think that their content has followed a very similar sort of, you know, influencer arc where their account starts with like these humble beginnings, a genuine love of makeup, wanting to do product reviews and help people and be informative and have fun with makeup and things like that. As money and opportunities start rolling in, as they form friendships with people who are big and important, you know, their content eventually shifts and changes, and really not for the better. That's just how I feel about this particular account. Like I said, I really used to enjoy their informative content, but now it's, I think, changed into an excess of ads. Like if you go to their page, it's like all these ads. I'm like, okay, it's a lot. I don't consider sponsored, paid for advertisements as reviews. Okay, that's not a review, it's an ad. We're not getting as many honest, objective reviews. And another thing that I've noticed is they've started to develop really close relationships with a lot of other beauty brand owners. Okay, so like Makeup by Mario, they're sitting down with Charlotte Tilbury, they're doing things with Pat McGrath, they're doing things with all these other people that they have actually, quote, said they idolize and have looked up to for a really long time. So it just makes me question, like, are you going to be able to do objective educational content? It seems like a conflict of interest. This is just me personally. I feel like I used to go to their page and it would be the question of, what else can I learn? And now it's sort of changed into this question of, what else are they gonna sell me? So obviously I'm pissed. This is just what I have to say. Stop doing free work for these companies. Stop paying money for half-baked products. They have found a way to change up the whole business model, so all the risk is on us as consumers. Okay, if the product fails, well, who cares, because we paid for it. You know, if we didn't do our research enough, that's okay, because the customers will tell us how to make it better, and they're going to foot the bill for it. This is a very dangerous path for us to go down as consumers. It's a dangerous precedent to set that we would be willing, or we would accept this type of, you know, behavior from companies or brands or manufacturers for that matter. Stop taking advantage of me as a consumer. Finish the damn product. Okay, bring me a product that you've fully tested, that you've fully fleshed out, that works for me, solves my problems, makes my life easier, and I want it in the best packaging that it could possibly be in. And you know what? I want it to be worth my money. They should be making our lives easier. Stop rushing crap. Stop bringing us slop and upcharging on the price. Can't accept this anymore. We have to hold these companies to higher standards. So anyway, what do you guys think? Leave your feedback down below. And most importantly, if you like this video, you need to subscribe. Okay, many more videos coming. If you like this one, similar to this, also different than this, okay? I don't know what's the future of this channel. You tell me. No, I'm kidding. Leave a like if you like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.